Alright, today we're going to be looking at these tank treads that I'm going to be sharing on Thingiverse. I'm also going to be selling these as a kit at the Nerdatorium. I'll provide links below the video and in Thingiverse. And it's going to be a kit, not assembled. You get to assemble them. I don't have the time to assemble every tank tread, trust me. It takes a little while, but it's fun, it's tranquil. It's nothing I want to do times how many people order these things, really. So here's kind of where it was. First off, I had a variation of this single tank tread, okay, and I coated it in silicone for traction, and that worked out okay. But once it started getting abused enough, like I would say 3 or 4 hours of heavily playing with the robot, these broke. So I went through about 3 or 4 of these within a day, and I was like, oh, well, that's a waste. Even though I was just trying to figure out what was breaking them and why. And what was breaking them is the fact that, you know, having ABS kind of printed out like that, not very sturdy. It's a thin wall. So I went with the traditional design, and those are these little guys. Okay, very cool. Treads, or Tanklinks. I'm sure they have some kind of military name for those, but I'll call them Tanklinks. Let's look at them and how they work. I mean, as far as what they look like running. Okay, so you can see right here it's got that little knob that goes into the actual tank tread, and that's what pulls it around. This is what I didn't have this at first. I had to add that in, so it's a tension wheel, and that keeps it nice and taut on the bottom, and that gives it lots and lots of traction. Even though there's this is just ABS, it still has a lot of traction on hard surface and on shag. He doesn't have the ability to detect edges yet, but very cool, right? So he's fun to play with. Much better not on a table though. So he's working on sonar and IR sensors right here, and the IR looks like guns, and the sonar is up here at the top, and you can see the various lights that come on. Like the green one indicates one, and then the red's on this side, and then the yellow indicates the sonar at the top is turning on, so that way you can tell which different variation of sensors turning on. Alright, so there's my tank treads. Very sturdy, no doubt about it. Now they're put together using PLA spikes. We have this wheel, and there's going to be 6 of these printed out. 6 each of these coins. Okay? Or, yeah, 6 each of these coins. We have a little gear. We have this one, which has wider holes at the top and thinner holes at the bottom. And then we have this. This is the servo attachment. So if you buy a servo, usually you get this little tiny wheel, and that one fits right there. Cool. Now there's a couple different ways you can build these. You can build them with PLA spikes, or you can get 2mm very, very small screws. Okay, the kit's going to contain the PLA spikes, and it'll contain 2 screws to mount them here. So these cannot be PLA spikes. The center ones, they require 25mm M3 screws. Same with this one right here. Alright, so I'm going to take you through this build. That's the introduction to the tank tread, and then I'll show you how to assemble each piece, and that way if you buy it as a kit you can then assemble it. So I hope you enjoyed the introduction to the new tank treads on Thingiverse, and if you're interested, support your local open source artist and purchase them on Etsy. Alright, have a good one. Until the first part, I'll see you then.